Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Sunday, July 9, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link to our Patreon in the description and comments section below. Toronto Blue Jays vs Detroit Tigers. Before Saturday's game, the Blue Jays not only had a 4-game winning streak but also overtook the Yankees for the Owls' last wild card spot. They'll try to keep ascending the standings by leaving Detroit with a win. Pitching has carried Toronto so far, and Chris Bassitt will pick up the final start of Toronto's first half. Bassitt faced Detroit in April, tossing 6.0 innings and allowing only 2 runs. It led to a win, similar to his last 2 starts, in which he tossed a total of 12.0 innings and allowed 3 total runs. Bassitt hasn't been as sharp on the road with a 5.74 ERA, but the Blue Jays have a strong bullpen behind him. Against a weak offense, things on the mound shouldn't be any concern. Detroit's only path to a playoff berth is through the weak AL Central, which they're still alive in. Even then, it would require them to win at a much higher rate than they have through nearly 90 games. With an offense outscoring only 2 teams, don't bank on it. The Tigers are among MLB's worst teams in terms of batting average, OBP, slugging percentage, stolen bases, and home runs. Outside of hitting triples, the Tigers don't have much to brag about offensively. Something needs to change. Pitching has generally been better all season, although Detroit has thrown some duds lately. Friday's 12-2 loss was the 6th time that the Tigers allowed at least 8 runs since June 27. Tarik Skubal wasn't on the mound for any of those games, as his return to the mound was untouchable. Literally. Making his season debut against the Athletics on Tuesday, Skubal pitched 4 no-hit innings, punching out 6 batters and walking none. His only blemish was a hit batter. The aforementioned offense didn't score at all, so Detroit eventually lost, but his promising young career came back to the majors beautifully. This is a full fate of Detroit's offense. Outside of the series finale against Oakland, the Tigers' offense hasn't shown any life during this pre-break homestand. If Skubal is sharp again, Toronto will have a tough time, but eventually, the Blue Jays' offense will scratch runs across the plate. The same can't be said about the Tigers, who may have a realistic ceiling of 3 runs scored against any team that pitches well as Toronto does. The visitors leave with a multi-run win. And our total pick is over. Cincinnati Reds vs Milwaukee Brewers. The Cincinnati Reds have been doing a solid job throughout the season, as they are 7th in MLB, with a .758 OPS, while scoring 5.04 runs per game right now. They have been finding ways to get on base, as they are tied with the Atlanta Braves for second with a .339 team on base percentage right now. Second baseman Jonathan India, .753 OPS, 13 HR, has been doing pretty well this season, but is struggling in his previous 7 games, as he has a .179, .273, .393 line in that stretch. Starting pitcher Ben Lively has been pitching okay this season, as in 9 games, 7 starts, he is 4-4 with a 4.11 ERA and a 1.26 whip through 46 innings. Hitters are hitting for power against him, as he has allowed 10 home runs thus far. Lively is coming off the injured list as he had a right pectoral muscle strain. He last pitched on June 20th and did not factor into the decision against the Colorado Rockies, where he gave up 2 runs on 3 hits with 4 walks and 4 strikeouts in 4 innings of work. So far this season, the Milwaukee Brewers have been absolutely brutal at the plate, as they are tied with the Cleveland Guardians for 25th in the majors with a .692 OPS, while scoring 4.26 runs per game. Shortstop Willie Adames, .709 OPS, 46 RBI, has been on fire in his last 7 games, as he has a 1.133 OPS with 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, and 5 runs scored in that stretch. Milwaukee and Cincinnati are both playing well in day games this season, with the Brewers at 22-18 and the Reds at 18-20. However, the Brewers have a significant advantage in the pitching matchup. Wade Miley has a career 3.10 ERA in 13 games against the Reds, while Ben Lively is coming off an injury and is not expected to be at his best. The Brewers have also won 4 of the 5 games they have played against the Reds this season, with a 27-18 run differential. I think the Brewers will continue their dominance in this game and win by at least 2 runs. Throughout the month of July, these teams have been struggling on the mound, as Cincinnati is 12th with a 4.25 team ERA, while Milwaukee is 21st with a 5.11 team ERA so far this month. In the last few weeks, both lineups have been incredible, as the Reds are averaging 5.79 runs in their previous 14 games, while the Brew Crew is scoring 5.2 runs in their last 15 games. All in all, go with the over in this matchup. St. Louis Cardinals vs Chicago White Sox. St. Louis has lost 4 of their last 5 games, including a 8-7 defeat in Chicago at the hands of the White Sox on Friday evening. The Cardinals had a 5-0 lead by the end of the third inning, powered in part by a home run by third baseman Nolan Arenado, but eventually lost both the lead and the game. St. Louis starter Jordan Montgomery had to leave after 4.1 innings with an injury. He allowed 1 earned run on 3 hits and did not factor into the decision. Reliever Kyle Leahy got saddled with a loss, giving up 2 runs in just 0.2 innings of work. Arenado blasted 2 home runs and had 2 RBI for the Cardinals in the loss. Recently promoted catcher Ivan Herrera had 2 hits and 2 RBI for St. Louis. The Cardinals' relief corps was not effective, allowing 6 earned runs over 3.9 innings. Chicago ended a 3-game drought by defeating the Cardinals at home on Friday evening. White Sox starter Dylan Cease struggled early, giving St. Louis a 5-0 lead by the third innings. He lasted 6 innings and allowed 5 earned runs on 11 hits and struck out 11 batters. He did not factor into the decision. Reliever Keenan Middleton picked up his 2nd win of the season, despite giving up 2 earned runs in only 1 inning of work. Chicago closer Kendall Graveman earned his 7th save by pitching a scoreless 9th. The White Sox rallied from the 5-run deficit on home runs by outfielders Luis Robert Jr. and Jake Burger. Shortstops Zachary Millard added 3 RBI on 2 singles for Chicago. Giolito has pitched effectively in his last 3 starts, producing a 1-1 record with a 3.32 ERA and 0.84 WHIP. He did not factor into the decision in his last start, which came against the Toronto Blue Jays, 49-42, 3rd in AL East, at home. He lasted 6 innings and gave up 2 earned runs on 4 hits. Second baseman Romy Gonzalez was placed on the 60-day Illinois for the White Sox. The White Sox have been struggling at home lately, losing 3 of their last 4 series at Guaranteed Rate Field. They have also been struggling on the mound, ranking 24th in the league in team ERA. The Cardinals, on the other hand, have been playing well on the road, winning 3 of their last 4 games. They have also been hitting the ball well, with a .300 batting average and a .482 slugging percentage in their last 7 games. I think the Cardinals are the better team right now, and they have the momentum. I expect them to win this game by at least 2 runs. I would recommend betting on the run line, -1.5, and taking St. Louis. The White Sox rank near the bottom of the league in average runs scored per game, and the Cardinals are ranked 23rd in average runs scored per game on the road, with 4.17. While the St. Louis pitching staff is disappointed in general this season, they have been more effective on the road, 4.51 ERA, than at home, 4.95 so far. The White Sox rank 29th in the league at home in on-base percentage. Giolito has pitched effectively at Guaranteed Rate Park this season, producing a 2.43 ERA with a WHIP under 1/9 starts. Chicago has gone under the run total in 3 of their last 4 games. The stats suggest a lower scoring affair when these 2 teams meet on Sunday. Take the under.